It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And we'll get a look at this team's rocket-armed quarterback. After his last game, he's now across 3,000 yards for the season. Buckle up. There's football coming your way on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you take a look at our home side as we enter play here. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
On the other side of the field for our visitors here, they've certainly found their groove of late, winners of 5 in a row.
And I think the sky's the limit for this team. They're playing the best football.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They're led out by their quarterback, a day 3 selection in this year's draft.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well. Won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he's got his big wide receiver complete. 12 yards on the gain. A great start for this offense. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Hands it off out of the gun. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The numbers for him from a week ago. A boatload of carries, 117 yards.
And the way they ran the ball last week has to bring a smile to the faces of the entire coaching staff, because not only are they seeing a back pile up yardage, but they're seeing an offensive line in sync. And that bodes well this late in the season.
The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. He'll look to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Give the rookie another one on this opening drive and a first down with it. A nice start, Charles, for the first-year passer. He's come out, made a few plays, nice plays to begin this contest.
He certainly has, and if he finishes off this drive with a touchdown pass, I vote we don't call him rookie anymore. We'll move him right to veteran and continue from there.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Hopkins. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. That's good for a first down, his 2nd catch of the opening drive. Really a solid start here on the opening drive, Charles. He's now 4 of 4, and they're already in plus territory.
Brandon, he's been so precise to start this game, like we're watching an operation taking place right now. Master surgeon at work.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A good pickup there at 22.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A great effort there. His 7th rushing touchdown of the year. And this offense takes the ball down the field and scores on their opening drive.
Sometimes you get a 1st and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9-yard line, and you start thinking, maybe we're running here on 1st down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots at going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they will be led out by the youngster, the rookie, their QB.
And he just continues to throw touchdown pass after touchdown pass, leading the league here down the final stretch of the year. Guys will say that the numbers and rankings, they don't matter to him very much, but I don't know how much I actually believe that. Sure, he's team first, but I think everyone would like to see him finish number one, including himself.
And that nearly a turnover, but it's incomplete. Oh, fortunate to retain possession there, and it's second down. They'll set up a throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Harvey. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
And, CD, you look at this defense, what kind of pressure are they under trying to stop a team that has won 5 games in a row?
Well, to me, it makes their job harder because you're going up against an offense that's playing at an elite level, and sometimes you can get too caught up in trying to play the perfect game. You're trying to be too precise, too fine, instead of just letting it rip, and I think that's more the priority than trying to be absolutely perfect.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be second down. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. He has enough for the first down on the keeper, a gain of 6. That may be a sneak peek on this opening drive of what this young rookie can showcase, his legs.
And normally, as you start a game, you're just thinking, can he get the snap? Can he hand off? Can he just execute? Instead, he doesn't waste any time on wrapping another dimension to his game, showing off those wheels and picking up some nice yardage.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down. He'll look to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. A great play there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up. A nice connection there, finding his target, and that'll put 6 up on the board.
Just like they drew it up in their playbook and reiterated it on the sidelines, right? Perfect route, a good throw, and the defense, they had no answer for that right there.
Point after, right down the middle, and we are tied at 7. So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit? And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A big play there. 70 yards. And his guys have taken the lead. Charles, every time that he makes one of these plays, I think the front office, they get a bigger and bigger collective smile because they feel more confident that they have found their guy, their future at quarterback.
And they should feel that way. It's obvious he's a big part of why they have such a good record this season. You're right about the bright future as well, and by association, a bright future for the franchise too.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 14-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. They'll keep it on the ground. Hamlin, he'll get a yard. That's all as they get him down at the 28. Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
And what keyed their victory? The pass rush. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well. Hard to throw the ball downfield when all you're seeing is opposing jerseys come at you.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. And they'll send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Now back to throw. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long. He'll drop to throw. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
And he's able to get it out of there. Taking on the midfield logo. 42-yard punt, 6 on the return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. They'll run on first down. Hamlin, this will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Looking downfield, and that's caught right side. He's got his man. And he will be out of bounds here on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Looking to throw. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
They'll look to throw here. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Here's 3rd and 7. They'll drop to throw. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
And this one is right through. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, are you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. But not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment. Here's 2nd and 8. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. They'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. From the gun, they'll try to run it. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. Caught left side, Hopkins. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. They'll try to run this one in. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And this will be broken up and incomplete. Now a penalty flag down, and they may be going backward here. A crucial penalty there as the hold backs him up for another 2nd and goal. And he's got his man in stride, complete. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on third down. So far, only allowed one conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
And the 13-year man puts it through, and that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. So a nice kick there as they add 3 to the lead.
And from what I've seen so far, Brandon, I think they've been the better of the two teams here in the first half. So even though you want the touchdown, I think that's a nice job there to put 3 points on the board.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They find themselves down 17-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. And his throw here's incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
He finds his man complete. That's Harvey. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 2 yards on the pickup there. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And last time they were able to churn some clock. They got the field goal, added onto their lead. But that was a drive that was so long, it should have ended in a touchdown. You know that's how they felt.
And we'll both be headed to the airport after the game. But we probably should go to the post-game press conference because someone's going to ask the head coach about this drive. And he's going to profess that he was happy to get points.
But
and we know that's not true.
Yeah.
Okay, after this type of a drive, not getting a touchdown, a huge disappointment.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on 3rd down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right. They need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. Back to throw now on 1st down. Wide open receiver complete. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A big pickup of 38.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him. And he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 25-yard line.
It's complete to Hopkins. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. 7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Back to throw here. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
And his kick here is good. And they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about one-score lead, two-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The visitors' offense and their wideout getting set to go once more. And as we near the conclusion of the regular season, nobody has surpassed the amount of receptions that he has put up to this point. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Back to throw again. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 2nd and 5. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that one going to come up short. Low throw.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity, because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
They'll look to throw again. Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
I know at retirement ceremonies, a rocking chair is often one of the major gifts, but don't give this guy one just yet. He may be plus 30, but my goodness, how about that effort?
Yeah, he's not that old. Hey, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw, because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
One final go for this offense here in this first half. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room. They'll come out throwing here on first down. A quick throw, but incomplete.
He'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Over the middle, complete. That's Hopkins. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. On first down, he'll drop to throw. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. Again, he'll drop to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Hopkins. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. Ball at the 40 here for 2nd and 5. Back to throw. He's going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not? That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game as we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, but we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side can play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. This offense ready to go to begin this third quarter. And they're on the short end of the scoreboard here. Charles, what adjustments, if any, do you think they need to make for the second half?
Well, paraphrasing the gold medal hockey winning coach Herb Brooks, I just say you continue to play your game. Throw the ball. They had success doing it in the first half, so make sure you keep getting the ball to your playmakers, a little bit more to the perimeter perhaps, but above all, play your game.
They'll keep it on the ground. Hamlin, and they get him behind the line, so that short gain on first down quickly negated. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. That is caught, and they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Great way to convert on third down there, 21 yards the play.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
He'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Now a handoff up the middle. Hamlin, and he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, second down. This is 2nd and 8. They're going to look to throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Got exactly what they wanted there out of the RPO and had the defense out of position.
One word for you there, excellent, because he read all the keys properly, made the right decision, and look at the result. Pretty substantial game.
And he's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7. 2nd down and 3, ball on the 7. They'll try and run this one right up the gut. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Taking it in from 7 yards away. And his guys are able to make this a close game again. And on his way to the end zone, shedding the tackle, he would not be denied.
That's what's called finishing the run. Making sure you power your way through. One-on-one tackle. No running back wants to go to the bench and say, I got stopped just short.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. It's up and good, and the lead's now down to 3 at 20-17. That time a 9-play drive. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. The home team's offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hopkins. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and it'll be 2nd down. In motion goes the tight end. Over the middle, it's complete. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. They'll set up to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on 3rd down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a 1st down.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And he fires one incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And he comes back with one complete. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. And they'll run on the inside handoff. He's going to be a yard short. Needed 2, but only got 1. 4th down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And on now is the punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver. I know they'd love to take some heat off of that young quarterback, but so far, not much in the running game, and this won't help things either. A loss on that play.
2nd and 13. Throwing middle, and it's complete. It'll be a gain of 5, and that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Can't get away, and he's taken down. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. 35 yards that time on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Ball on the 39. Here's the 2nd and 5. Now back to throw. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was out there waving his arms saying throw it here, dropped it, not a good look.
Well, all I can do is just look at him with contempt on that one. As a defensive back, I'm saying, not as an announcer. Just like, really?
A little bit of a diva look, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so, because I think what happens is he just had too much time to think. He's wide open now. Here comes the ball, and he doesn't concentrate and drops it. And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
1 quarter remains here in Week 16. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. The offense on third down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 6. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Under pressure, and down he goes.
Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to it.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
They bring their punter out there now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return, and they will take over 1st and 10. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6, and that will bring up 2nd down.
It's the pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 44-yard line.
On play action, they'll throw. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. They'll look to throw here.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one good for 24 yards.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there, because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. In trouble, and he's taken down. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the 1st down sack.
The lessons will continue, but this rookie, he's got to learn how to read situations just a little bit better. That far behind the line, he's got to find a way to get rid of the football and not take the sack, whether it's with his legs or just throwing it away.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Defense.
A bit of a jump there, CD. He breaks the line, and that'll be 5 yards.
And you've got to stay more disciplined than that, Brandon. That's just a free gift to the offense.
They'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And 3rd and 8 now.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Boy, Charles, that time he took a bad situation and made it worse.
Yeah, you're almost putting together a nice little song there, aren't you? Because it's something you'll see from young quarterbacks. They have that tendency to retreat backwards instead of stepping up in the pocket.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive.
Their defense accomplished step one of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a fourth quarter lead. They'll start on the ground here on first down. Now he's able to break to one tackle, but it slowed him down enough that he could only manage getting back to the line of scrimmage. Here's 2nd and 10. He'll drop to throw. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Just a gain of a couple there, and that's going to make it 4th down. So they bring out their punter as he's on for the 5th time here today. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The home team's offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 41 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. Here comes 3rd and the length of the football. He'll look to throw. Oh, they would have gotten the conversion if he could hold on. Instead, the drop means it'll be 4th down.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
2nd and 4. Over the middle, complete. It's Harvey. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Back to throw now on 1st down. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle 3rd of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. Up the middle they go. Hamlet, 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the 1st down. And that's what he just did.
Now it's 2nd and 10. Back to throw here. Now they set up the screen. That's complete.
That's a nice design there, but sometimes, though, you get so many blockers out ahead of you, they kind of slow you down and force you to adjust. You always appreciate guys trying to help you, but maybe one less there could have turned this into a bigger game.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. Well, the elements, the crowd, the situation, this is NFL football at its best. Here's third down. And he's unable to haul it in, so it falls incomplete over the middle third of the field, and that brings up fourth. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And his kick is absolutely perfect. So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. He's got this to the tight end, Hopkins. Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Buying time to his left. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete. There have been quite a few plays they might look back on and say, we really have hurt ourselves, and that was another example.
And this is late game execution. Everything on the line, so it all has to come together properly. The throw's made. Where's the catch? Got to catch in that spot.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get it with under 1 minute to go now in the football game. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Looking to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Here's 1st down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the fourth. They'll come up now. This is 2nd and long. Hands it off out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone.
Holding offense.
So that flag obviously takes away the good yardage that they had on the play.
And talk about a momentum shift, because we can visibly see this celebration shifting from one side of the field to the other as soon as everyone saw the flag.
Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. And everybody thinking about the possible field goal on 4th. It would be 58 yards from here. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And oh, that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down.
Oh, boy, this sets up for a huge call now on 4th down, because you can try the long field goal, you could go for it, or you could punt and play for overtime. I am so glad, partner, that I don't have to make those kind of decisions. Let's see what they decide.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And Charles, obviously not much time left. I'm curious to see if there's enough for them to get into field goal range and try to win this thing.
And partner, you and I both know the safe calls to kneel and just take it into overtime. But it's also very tough to pass up a chance to win it right now as well. But remember, if you do attempt that, it's got to be a big play downfield and still leave yourself enough time to get your field goal unit out there and kick for the win.
They'll keep it on the ground. Hamlet, and they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. So 4 quarters wasn't enough, and we are off to overtime. Don't change that dial. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
Conditions only going to get worse as we get back to football here to start this overtime. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. So here's the home side to take over on offense. All set up for him right now, Charles. Opening possession of overtime. They've got the football. They also obviously have this home crowd behind them in a big way.
They get that extra energy from them, but they've got to be careful not to let that adrenaline get away from them and play too fast or create errors of their own making. Use that energy, embrace it, but make sure they channel it the right way. They've got a chance to go downfield, score a touchdown, and end this game.
Now a first throw here in overtime. That's complete to the tight end, Hopkins. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards. 3rd and 1, trying to keep this drive in overtime going. A big one coming up. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And not much room to speak of. He'll get about 3 up to the 41.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. Looks like a 9-yard loss. And it also brings up 4th.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback, he's not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
And they'll send out their punter now. On for a very important punt here in overtime. 43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. So here are visitors to take over on offense. Well, their defense did the job, got off the field without giving up any points, and now, Charles, all they need here is a field goal, and they get the victory.
Yeah, and this is the way I love overtime. I'm one of those really old school guys that like sudden death right from the beginning. Well, we've got it now because any points wins the game. On defense, get a safety, a pick six, fumble return, you can win it as well. So I'm really looking forward to this series and see how both sides play it.
And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. 52 yards rushing for him now as he is just trying to will his guys to an overtime victory. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. A quick throw there is incomplete.
Well, that's a defense coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
Now a handoff up the middle. Hamlet, and he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss loss of 6 yards on the sack. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. They'll try and start this drive in the air. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. 2 minutes left in this overtime session, and still all tied. So from the 26-yard line, here's a 2nd down and 4. Back to throw. And that'll be incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position can get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his 2nd drop of the game. Oh, and it's intercepted. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
Well, it's not the first time we've seen him give one up here during his rookie season, and in this case, zone coverage forced the mistake. He's made some strides week to week in how he's handling the different type of coverages that he's seeing, but clearly there's some growing still to do.
They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. From the 41, here's 2nd down and 8. They'll drop to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. So now it all comes down to the left foot of their kicker. This to win it in overtime. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. And they've come in here and stolen one on the road. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys who's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for our